Another edition of So You Think You Can Squat. Okay, now we have all the form technical things fixed. We have the walkout fixed. We have the body posture fixed. We have all the muscles firing in the correct area. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take him a full box squat with just the bar. We're going to see all the form and pieces of his body that we fixed. Show the proper technique for you guys. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work up and let him max and let him safely fail by utilizing some catch chains. Okay, we're going to let him safely fail, and we're going to watch all this form break down. Because what happens is that super strong guys never break form. It's about strength. When guys are first starting to train, they can't show their strength because their weaknesses falter first. Okay, so what we're going to see is we're going to try to bring about his weak spots. We're going to see what muscles are firing and what muscles aren't, and then that'll show you guys what you might need to attack on your training. Okay, go ahead and show a proper box squat. Utilize all the same technical things that we went over from head to toe. So now he's going to stand up with both feet. Go ahead. He's going to take a small step back. Great. Then he's going to start with the ass coming back first, pushing his knees apart, keeping his head up. Stand. Good. Do it again. 3 reps. 2. As you can see, the shin staying straighter. The knees are pushing out. The proper muscles are being used. This goes true for gear squats, wall squats, athlete or non-athlete. This is how you squat. So what we're going to do is we're going to slowly work up. We should probably see the same technique that we saw with the straight bar with 135. But what we're going to work up to is his max, no matter what that may be. We're going to see where his technique breaks, and then we're going to show you maybe some accessory work on how to fix it. You cannot fix weak spots on the squat by squatting. You have to do it with accessory exercises. So I can teach him all day how to squat correctly, but when it gets up to maximal weights, he's going to go back to instinct and use what muscles he has and don't have. So it's important that when we max today, that we see his weak spots and we make sure that his accessory work translates that, so that his squat form will go up without having to squat more. He squats better. Go ahead and do 2 reps with this. Hey Pego, will you get a side spot? We're always going to use spots. You always want to use spots no matter if it's 135. You never know what can go wrong with a bar, so you always do everything right. Small step out, good. Now we're going to maintain a proper position on the tailbone, keeping the head up, push the knees out. Try to stay all the way, Mikey. There you go. And he's going to walk it back in. Good. Now we're at 225. Hopefully we won't see any technique breakdown. If we do, we'll point it out, and we'll go from there. Go ahead and give me 2 reps. Use a side spot. Hey, Peg, side spot for me, please. Good. Walk it back. Push your knees apart. Head up tall. There it is. Hold it. Go. Good. Head back. And rack it. On the first rep, off the box, we started to see a little bit of knee influx, so we started to see a little bit of knee bow. What that's indicating is a quadricep turning on and taking the pressure off of the hip. So when we go up to the next plate, it's going to get more erratic. It's going to show way more, but automatically we've seen with just 225 that we have a knee coming in, which usually means quad dominance, hip weakness. Now we're up to 315. So we saw some knees coming in on the 225. Probably get a little bit more erratic on that. We might start seeing some spine shift over. So what we're looking for is breaking in the form to show us what muscles that we need to fix with accessory work. You guys stay close on this.
Athletes and a couple of people side. I work for high school and college kids.
Remember your technique if you can. Keep your head up. Good, rack it. That's okay. Go ahead, get another one. Now at the bottom, we started to see a little bit of knee shift forward. We started to see a little bit of upper back rounding, but everything still looked pretty good. It was still pretty solid, which still leads us that we can move up a little higher safely. We use like a 1 to 10 hard ratio, so I asked him, how hard is this 1 to 10? We got a 6. He called out a 6. So obviously it wouldn't be very smart for us to take a whole plate jump. So we're going to take a 25-pound jump or a 50-pound jump total. And then that should put us at about a 7 or 8, so we're getting around 80% of his perceived exertion. Hopefully we can do 405 and we can see some things going wrong, and we'll talk about those. Started to see a little bit of back turnover when he picked the bar out. He's fixing it as he goes down to squat. Knees are shooting way forward off the box, buckling it just a hair. Racket. We got to the very top, we saw his toes popping up off the top. Okay, and we saw the foot pressure starting to change, which might be hard to see in the video, but what we want to see is this all the time. And we saw a lot of this, we saw a little of this, and we saw a lot of the back turning over and not staying locked in. So we're getting close to shit going bad, which is what we want. Now we're probably getting up around 80 or 90%, 8 or 9 at perceived exertion. We're going to start seeing things come back to instinct versus teaching. And this is what you have to do. You have to go up to a point that you break form to make form better. Sounds ironic, but it's true. If you don't see what's wrong, how can you fix it?
Sure it is, Ted.
Hey, Pego. You spot for me? This is. This is the Matt Winnick show right here.
95 dudes standing.
Hey.
This guy didn't do shit
I
today.
still out squat you. Get over here.
Impressive. Yeah, that's impressive.
Okay. Here we go.
Fucking get after it. Let's go.
Come on, buddy. Guys, stay with that bar.
What?
If he has to bail, help him pick it up off him a little bit, you know.
Let's go. Settle up. There you go. You're in. Throw it down.
Okay, still looking pretty good. Back staying pretty straight. Tailbone starting to flatten out. Ass is disappearing. Usually means the hips aren't staying locked in. The hamstrings are not firing correctly. And we have a lot of front and back foot pressure, which is telling us that we're shifting from hip to quad, instead of utilizing all the muscles together in one unit. So he's losing his ability to push out. It's causing him to stand straight up and down with the weight. You can also see it in the shin. When the shin comes forward and the knees over the toe, you start to see that. That's when you know everything's shifting forward and it's turned into an up and down exercise versus a back and out exercise.